They could have been working. Oh, yeah. Oh, this part was where. Tomorrow, so, yeah, it must have been. I ain't also what was that, so the whole work. Anyway, thank God, hang on.
There's some really good drivers. That's the guy, yeah, international. How was it? You can do that. You can. Yeah, you should.
How long in advance do you cancel the tents?
It's pretty much either go because you have to set them up the Friday before. Yeah,
Seems like
it's a no brainer. We don't know what the weather's gonna be like.
we need it. Yep.
Yeah,
It was nice that we had it the other time.
that worked out really well. Yeah.
Even for the shade,
Yeah, because it was sunny and warm that day too.
it was nice.
It was.
That's
You
why I
know,
said,
Doug, well, if we didn't get it.
I think we should discuss the beer wagon.
See the beer.
All right, 6 o'clock, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody, for joining us for the October 17th, 2022 Credit River City Council meeting. We will begin with approving or amending the agenda. Does anybody have any changes to the agenda tonight?
No.
I would take a motion to approve the
I'll
agenda
make
then.
that
Thank you, Al.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Leroy. I've got a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda as written. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Consent agenda. Those items on the council agenda which are considered routine, non-controversial are included as part of the consent agenda. Unless a council member specifically requests that an item on the consent agenda be removed and considered separately, items on the consent agenda are considered under one motion, a second, and a vote. Any item removed from the consent agenda shall be placed at the end of general business. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have September 19th, 2022 City Council meeting minutes, approval of partial release of land from Masters Development Agreement for Terra Farms, and a Crescent Curve letter of credit reduction. Does anybody have any of those items that you'd like to remove and consider separately tonight?
No.
Hearing none, would somebody make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
Make a motion.
I'll take Al and then Brent, you second.
Fine.
With a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda tonight, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Open forum, the public forum is intended to afford the public an opportunity to address concerns to the council. The public forum will be no longer than 30 minutes in length, and each presenter will have no more than 5 minutes to speak. Topics of discussion are restricted to local governmental topics rather than private or political agendas. The council may discuss but will not take formal action on public forum presentations. Anybody like to speak for open forum tonight? Sir, if you'd step up and, sir, if on that microphone right there at the top of there, the square button, if you just hold that down until the green light comes on, you're good now. You're good. Please sign in and then state your name and address and.
Yeah, my name is Mike Haberlack. I live at 7905 165th Street East. And I just want to touch on the proposed Summergate development. My wife Cheryl and I were approached by Summergate last spring. And we were approached a couple times during the summer, asking us if we wanted to sell our property. They mentioned that their offers for purchase were aggressive and they were interested in purchasing our property. We declined 3 times. My family enjoys living in the quiet comfort of Credit River. With that being said, the people who took the pending offers to sell their property to Summergate also at one time moved to Credit River because it was a quiet rural setting. And it's fully within their right to sell their property as they see fit. There's like nothing wrong with that. However, as a community and newly formed city, I believe that we have the right to direct how that property is going to be developed, that we should have some say in it. The proposed development seems to me like a high density development. I don't know if that's the proper term. It seems high to me. But I'm just using that term. And it's not in keeping what I believe what Credit River is all about. If my family wanted to live in a high density area, we'd live in Apple Valley or Burnsville. We just would. We chose Credit River. And I know a lot of you in front of me today, when you ran for your positions, you told us as voters that keeping Credit River unique in rural was high on your list. And my concern is that after the property owners have sold, the developer has developed, the result with what we're left with will change the dynamic of Credit River forever. In the last couple of months, I've talked to a lot of people in Credit River, and we believe that a lower density development for that area would be in keeping with Credit River. That's one of the most densely forested areas in Credit River, and plopping down 166 homes to me seems pretty aggressive. That's just my opinion, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Yep.
Tina?
All right, my name is Tina Mishka, and I live at 16331 Creekwood Drive. And I'm speaking today about what you see in your general business, discussion about November 8th elections. And I don't know who I need approval from, but I would like myself and other taxpayers would like to have a forum like you guys had 2 years ago, because it looks like there are 6 city council members running for 2 spots. So I know I'm talking to Chris about maybe how that can happen, but if at all possible, I think this would be a good place to do it, because we could get it on the YouTube channel again. And I know Prior Lake, I think you mentioned, does it there. So whatever I need to do, we need to do as citizens, I would like that to happen before the 8th. Thank you.
I saw your email that you sent me here just
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
Apologize, I haven't had a chance to answer.
No worries.
Give me all about 15 minutes.
Right.
I didn't answer fast enough, so she ran down here to.
Okay.
All right, who's next? Pete?
My wife Jeannie is assisting me tonight and handing out some materials.
She's getting
Last
good
time
at
I
this.
just referred to as my assistant, and
Yeah.
I of course, corrected on that.
Thank you.
My name is again Pete Thieberath. I reside at 7400 165th Street East. Tonight, one of my speaking points is, once again, I have been coming forward to you, Mr. Mayor, and the council to talk about the proposed Summergate development that has been talked about quite a bit, I guess, recently. One of the things that I've been looking at as far as natural area corridors. And in the first page of this handout shows a listing, or shows what has been listed as natural area corridors from Scott County. A natural area corridor, as it says in the definition, according to the Scott County 2040 comprehensive plan, is a linear connection of natural features which may include areas with known sensitive species of communities, unique natural communities, and high and medium quality communities. That would have like trees, wildlife, wetlands, and so forth. And now a natural area. Now I noticed in our Credit River 2040 comprehensive plan, there's no mention of natural area corridors. I went through it. And so this is all in reference to the Scott County comprehensive plan for 2040. Designated an area, a natural area corridor is not intended to limit development. Rather, the intent is to guide development related decisions as outlined within the following corridor purpose requirements. Guide where resources can be enhanced and or restored. For instance, types of vegetation to be planted and where stormwater ponds should be located. Allow for movement of wildlife in order to meet their basic habitat requirements for feeding, breeding, and resting. Provide connectivity between larger preservation areas. Maintain the rural feel of the community and the landscape that attracts many residents to the area, as been previously been just noted here. And why many of us have come here is because we like the residential or the feel of the area. And to protect and buffer water resources. Now on the second page of the exhibit 2 shows the same page, same drawing I have from Scott County, and shows where the Summer Gate development will go. And it's above we will lose a significant section of a designated natural area corridor. And as a matter of fact, that section of that designated natural corridor will be totally obliterated by the proposed development. It'll basically be right on top of it. When a property within a mapped natural area corridor is proposed for development, the proposal should be evaluated along the following statements. Determine if the property or a portion of the property proposed for development is within or adjacent to a natural area corridor. Well, it's not near adjacent, it's right on top of it. Identify the types of resources that are present within the corridor, such as wetlands and woodlands. Both those are present in that particular corridor, that natural area. And then identify the purpose of the corridor, which is kind of along the guidelines in the top. Determine whether preservation of the resources within the corridor is appropriate. We think it is. Determine what levels of resource protection already exist for the area in question. For wetlands in this area, there could be already some existing protection through the state of Minnesota's Wetland Conservation Act. And also protecting and preserving wetlands is better than trying to restore them later. All this involves a combination of efforts to protect the high quality natural areas under private ownership as well as public ownership for this area. Making decisions related to implementing corridor purposes is needed to shape the pattern of the desired development that we want for Credit River going forward. And I hope that that's something that we all will consider. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peter. Anybody else for open forum tonight? Sir?
Good evening. My name is Dan Haugen and I live at 7617 165th Street. And tonight I want to talk to you guys for just a few minutes as it relates to the public hearing that's going to be happening on Thursday, on October 20th at the Planning Commission. So I had gone back through and asked Cindy Nash to go back and provide what that amendment is going to be. And the amendment relates to really amending section 2 of the city ordinances, which is related to the establishment of the Planning Commission. And in that establishment, it actually stated that there would be 5 Planning Commission members and that they should be residents of Credit River. The amendment is almost identical to what it was, with the exception of removing the reference to residents. So what the Planning Commission is recommending, I would assume that's who they're recommending, is to go back through and remove the need for a Planning Commission member to be a resident. And I wonder where that thought process is happening. I don't think it's a good idea. I think that good governance really needs to be people that are held accountable. The best way to be held accountable is to be a citizen. The best way for that to occur is to go back through and hold to the existing governance that you already had in place. I think it's really important to be transparent. And this is kind of an interesting way of allowing that to happen. So I'm a little bit concerned about that as well. And, I think that good governance is really established by you guys as the city council. So I guess my question, first of all, is this is really related to the charter of the planning commission. And the charter of the planning commission is established by the city council. So was there, maybe you could help me out with being the city administrator or the council. Who asked the planning commission to go back through and to make this amendment?
Mr. Mayor and Mr. Haugen, one of the current planning commissioners needs to relocate temporarily while a new house, he's currently residing here, but he sold that and is going to be rebuilding here, but that will be several months before that happens. So what the planning commission is being asked to consider, they haven't yet taken action to recommend one way or the other, would be to consider whether that's something that they want to do on a temporary basis or to amend it so that would allow for a commissioner not to be a resident on a temporary basis.
Okay. I thought that it was kind of interesting. I thought, well, maybe we should check and see, what the neighboring cities are doing. So I went and I looked at Fire Lake. They required the planning commission members to be residents. I checked at Savage. So I thought they were good neighboring, and I thought, well, maybe I'll go to the bigger cities because they kind of set the standards. Well, I think all voting members in the city of Minneapolis are residents. Bloomington, every commission member, whether it's planning or others, except for one commission, are residents. Well, maybe that is just for the big cities or the established cities. So then we've got a fairly new city called Elko, New Market, just to the south of us. And they're actually smaller than us. So no, they need to be residents too for the planning commission. So I think that it's something that as it comes up, I hope that it doesn't get through the planning commission. But if it does, I would ask you to really strongly think about how you want to establish this city. It's brand new. We get an opportunity to be able to go back through and create what is really a good governance. And you guys are setting that standard. So I want you to know about it in advance if you haven't already heard about it. And if you have heard about it, I want you to really think about it when it comes to you to vote.
Okay. Thank you, Dan.
Question for Mark, are they remodeling the house or what's my understanding is, and so they're rebuilding new.
Outside of.
No, in Credit River is the intent. Okay.
But won't be, is residing the word? I'm trying to remember
Won't be a property owner.
Well, you don't have to be a property owner to reside. You don't have, to be
Right,
here,
right.
we don't have to own property, we just have to live here.
Right. And you have to have the intent. I
You
think the
have
state
the intent, right,
statute
yeah.
talks intent.
So during the time that building, the said person will be living elsewhere than within the city limits of Credit River.
Maybe.
Okay.
We don't have that information. We don't
Right.
have a.
No, it hasn't
anything in
come-
front of
hasn't
us,
come to
no
us, yeah.
report.
Okay.
Hasn't come
Okay,
to us. So I
good.
think best case is let it.
Yep.
Play out.
See what planning says.
Right. Let them vet it out.
Yep.
That's their job.
Get you.
Anybody else for open forum tonight? Yeah.
So my name's Neil Michaels. I'm at 7460 165th Street East. And I would like to speak to the same thing that Dan spoke about. The United States was formed a government of the people, by the people, for the people. No offense to Canadians, but I don't want Canadians in our Congress telling us what to do. City of Credit River. I would like the government to be run by people in Credit River. And so I parallel the comments that, we should keep the planning committee members, residents of Credit River. Because if you don't, it opens the door to a lot of problems. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, anybody else for open forum tonight? All right, close open forum. General business number one, Mark, discussion preparation for November 8th general election.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My apologies. This is part of the dealing out process of the new agenda management software, but the memo that was intended to go did not get included, so that's been printed out and hopefully you've had a chance to at least look at it. But basically what we're looking for is some direction from you. As you're very well aware, on November 8th, we will be hosting elections here at the Government Center building. Knowing that we have a lot of folks who are intending to be voting that day. As you recall, in 2020, we had people lined up out the door and off the parking lot. What we'd like to get some direction from you is how do we accommodate, similar turnout if we have something like that. It's my understanding that you rented tents, 20 by 40, a large one, a 7 by 30, kind of as a cover, then to get from there into the building, and then a smaller 10-foot by 10-foot one. Also leased some tables, I'm assuming for registration, things like that. I did call the rental company that had those last time. They do have those available if you want to do that again. I know there's also, as we're in early November, a question as far as whether you want to provide some heated areas outdoors where people are queuing up for that. Cost for at least the large tent would be about $1,300 delivered and set up. You want to do a heater, that's another $70 plus the cost of propane. So you got that. I know last year there was also a desire to do, or last election, there's a restriction of parking out along County Road 68, probably on one side. We can certainly check to see if a sheriff's deputy is available to help move traffic if that's an issue. So that's one question I'd like to have you look at as far as how we make preparations for that day. We should also talk about rescheduling the meeting, which would normally be the night before a regular council meeting, to Wednesday night, the 9th. As Councilor Lawrence noted, I think the early voting will be taking place until 5 p.m. on that Monday, which won't give you a lot of time to get set up for this meeting. And it would make for a really early meeting or really early morning for folks who are going to be here a long day anyway to set up if you'd like to do that. So those are the proposals I'd like to have you discuss tonight, and certainly any of you who have firsthand knowledge and open to any suggestions as well.
I think the tent's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Definitely do the tent.
Yeah.
And with early voting on the 7th, we are open that day till 5, and anybody in line at 5 will get to vote. It'll be just like a normal election day. If they're here, they're in line. I don't know if we'll have a line, but we certainly could. And we will have probably that weekend, because we'll have early voting Saturday the 5th, and we'll have it Monday the 7th. We'll have all of the blue QB things here. I think we should move the November meeting to possibly the 9th.
Well, in the past, it was set up after.
But we will be voting that day. We will have early voting here that Monday till 5 p.m. So the day that our meeting is scheduled for, the 7th, we will have absentee early voting
Till 5.
till 5 p.m. Anybody in line will still vote. And then the rest of the setup. But I think we'll have enough people that we'll probably have every one of those out of the shed and in here probably that Saturday morning, the 5th. Because we have all day Saturday.
Right.
And then we have, I think till 3 Saturday, and then the 7th, 8 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should move.
I think we should.
Open meeting, no sense in tearing down, trying to set.
Yep.
Right.
What's a motion?
I'll second.
All right. Motion, motion is second to move the November 7th meeting, council meeting to November 9th at 6 p.m. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And then tent, yes. What about heater? Yes.
Sure.
Heater, yes.
I don't know what the weather's gonna do.
I know.
Anything to knock the chill off of.
Yeah.
What else?
That'd be the large tent.
Yeah.
You want the 7-foot wide one? too?
Whatever that
Okay.
was we had the other time worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know that, and if you need any extra tables, yeah, I don't know that we do we? I guess check with Amy on that.
I thought we had 2 out there that day.
Yeah, but I don't know that they used them though. We're gonna use those for check-in, because
Oh,
remember
yeah.
those, part of
Yep.
that was the COVID restrictions and spacing of everything.
One I think they used for the drive up. But
Yeah,
Yeah, we get very few people that do the drive-up voting. I
Yeah.
mean, they would vote from the posted parking spots out there. I think we're probably okay with tables in here.
okay,
Registration should go rather fast because we'll have the poll pads. I
Yeah.
don't think we need the tables, but I do believe the tent
I got
and the heater,
I got the lights yet.
got the lights yet for the table?
and we should be good.
Okay, all right,
Lights.
it gets dark out early.
To hang in the tent.
Okay, cause that,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Because we have the outlets put in
the outside outlet
Yeah.
just to do that.
for that.
Yeah, were those rented? Those-
The lights, no,
No, I have.
Leroy has those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, thanks, Bruce.
all right, you good on that one, Mark?
Yeah, authorization then to go over the 50% down needs to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion for that too.
I'll second.
All right, motion is second to acquire tent rental and heater, and for Mark to go ahead and put the 50% down. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Who's gonna, traffic, is somebody gonna contact?
we can
traffic?
communicate with the deputy. Yeah, that's the easy part. There's no financial impact on that, so. Not a problem.
So we didn't vote, right?
Well,
And just-
three of us did, you guys did.
Well, I thought.
It's,
I thought-
I saw that.
Well, we can make sure.
Can
All in
we-
favor?
One, the road got pretty congested out here last year. Should I get a couple of signs from safety sign to park only on one side of the road or something?
Some like temporary no
Yeah.
parking signs,
It's just a temporary deal. They'll take it back.
can do that.
Sure.
Probably need 6.
Yeah, a few, otherwise it was a mess out here.
Leroy, we'll ask,
I mean, we
we'll
won't
ask the
have-
judges to park on the grass.
Yeah, everybody can, you can park. on the
Right, but
grass
I
if you
think if
want.
the judges park on the grass, then that's gonna allow more parking
Yeah.
spots for our
Sure.
residents. I mean, I think,
Typically, we probably will get 2,500. 20, it won't be 3, I bet, but
We'll set her up a little better.
yeah.
So just clarify then 2 tents, not the 10 by 10. I'm not sure what that was for. So, okay, good. Thank you.
All right. Now we all ready? Any more?
Yeah.
Add-ons?
Spotlights.
All right, all in favor to buy rent the tent and heater and signs, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Here none, motion passes. Next item, action overhead door and Krieger excavating. Planner Cindy Nash, if you want to introduce the subject, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the agenda tonight is both a comprehensive plan amendment and a rezoning to take both of these 2 properties from commercial to industrial. They're both used for industrial purposes today, and this request is coming by application of the 2 property owners. The Planning Commission did review this at their meeting back in August and recommended approval. We've been waiting until this time to bring it to you because it did need to have adjacent community review. And we did not receive any comments from any adjacent communities. So from here, if the council is inclined to recommend or to approve these 2 items, the comprehensive plan amendment would go on to the Metropolitan Council for their consideration.
Okay. So let's tackle these one at a time. First, we'll start with resolution 2022-32 comprehensive plan amendment from commercial to industrial. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Cindy on that? No. Then I would take a motion to approve. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Andrew. We got a motion and a second to approve resolution 2022-32 comprehensive plan amendment from commercial to industrial. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Next up, resolution 2022-33 rezoning from commercial to industrial. Does anybody have any questions on that resolution? No. Then I would take a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Al.
Again.
Thank you, Andrew. Motion and a second to approve resolution 2022-33 rezoning from commercial to industrial. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Cindy. All right, next up, council member and liaison updates. Does anybody have any updates or anything tonight?
Just we're out lighting the roads is last weekend and probably every other week, light them until it freezes, so. If we get some rain, we won't have to do as much.
Yeah.
Pack a little better, so.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Sounds good. Anybody else?
Mayor, I was just going to mention that we made the determination that we're not going to dust coat any more gravel this fall. So we tabulated what the dust coating costs were to do all of Murphy this year compared to what it was last year, because the county said they would reimburse us for that. And it's about $9,700 that we sent the bill to the county. And we haven't heard back. They haven't said they are dismissing it or that they're tearing it up. So our assumption is they're going to pay it.
Okay.
You drive up and down, I've been up and down Murphy a bit. What do you think of the new stuff versus the old stuff?
I mean, our test,
The test patch.
strip.
it's really hard to tell.
It's kind of what I felt.
And I
too.
Yeah.
drive it a lot.
Right, what do
It's
you
really
think?
hard to tell.
Without any rain.
This
I-
right,
it-
that's the
it-
other
it
problem,
is
too. It's
tough
been drier than
without the
normal, so-
rain. But with it as dry as it is, and that test patch, I know exactly where it ended.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's worth the extra money to do it again. And if we tried it and it's fine, but I don't see a difference enough in it that would justify spending the extra. I don't have the numbers right in
Right.
front of me, but
It
the
was a
per
decent
gallon,
increase.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
It
not
was.
worth it. Right now.
Yeah, I don't think,
I'd agree with.
I would
I
say
know the right word is,
we
and
tried
when I
it.
drive, I can't tell the difference.
It was, we were told it was beneficial.
We tried a new dust coating product. It was supposed to be the
Cats me out.
best. And
Well, the newest and
Latest and
the best
greatest.
and brightest.
Yeah.
Yes.
pretty expensive.
And it was a little more and, but Andrew, that's a good point. I don't
I don't think I'd do it again.
think so either.
Okay.
They weren't selling us on it. They were saying,
No,
would
it's
you
just
like to try
suggested.
it?
Yeah,
Other communities had done it. Let's try it, see if it holds together. But you're right, without rain,
yeah.
how can you tell anything?
That became hard as
Just
a
can't,
rock
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Good, Brian?
No, we're good.
All right, approval of claims listings. Tonight, we have claims for $61,390.48. Anybody have any of those that they'd like to talk about, consider separately? If not, I would take a motion to approve those claims tonight. Thank you, Al.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Leroy. All right, motion is second to approve the listings of claims for tonight in the amount of $61,390.48. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. That, I take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Andrew.
Second.
Thank you, Brent. Motion is second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.